been saying for the longest time that if this show can stick the landing, it'll be one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Did it stick the landing? Let's find out. Hey guys, my name is Trevor, and today we are talking about episode 8, the series finale of Defending Jacob. Each Saturday, I always talk about the latest episode of Defending Jacob, and I am so sad to inform you that this is the last Saturday we'll be talking about Defending Jacob. I've had so much fun doing this. I love this series so much, and I've been saying for the longest time that if episode 8 can stick the landing, it's going to be one of my favorite shows ever. And before we dive deep into this, as always, this is a full spoiler discussion. Go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your spoiler-filled thoughts on the season and on episode 8 specifically. How do you guys like the series as a whole, but how did you like episode 8? And it had so many questions to answer, and I thought that 8 episodes might not be enough just to answer all of them, and especially how much stuff was basically kind of crammed into episode 8. I felt like we could have maybe used 2 episodes. So that's kind of, I guess, my first little critique of episode 8 is that it felt a little bit rushed, everything that happened, but I mean, it had so many questions to answer. Who's the guy in a blue Lincoln? Does Lori leave? Does Leonard Patz hang himself? Is Jacob free? What's up with his dad, J.K. Simmons? And most importantly, why is Andy getting interviewed to see if that's going to go to trial? And I mean, we find out all that basically in this episode. So we find out that the guy in the blue Lincoln was actually sent by his dad, which I felt was kind of a really predictable thing. Like I said it a couple weeks ago, I was like, I think that guy's definitely going to be something from his dad. His dad sent him maybe to protect him, watch out for him because he wanted to help. We find that out, and that was definitely cool. Jacob is found innocent. Leonard Patz did hang himself, so Jacob was found innocent. He was so happy, and he was very, very grateful to kind of be in that situation. And then after Jacob is free, the whole family talks about going to Mexico, but before Andy decides to do that, he decides to take a visit and visit his dad in prison, and basically finds out that Leonard Patz didn't hang himself. He was murdered by Father Leary that J.K. Simmons sent him, and we find that out too, and I was like, wow. And I kind of see that coming because I thought Leonard Patz was too obvious of a choice, and when it was him, I was like, okay, that's cool, but I felt like there was something more to it, and he was so sweaty and nervous, and basically Father Leary choked him out and made it seem like he hanged himself, and Andy's living with that, and he's just got so much guilt on him, and his son's free now. His family finally seems happy because Lori had so much doubt in Jacob, and Lori had so much everything, and for the longest time I thought Lori was gonna leave, and she didn't leave, but I'll get to Lori in a second. She did a crazy ass thing at the end of the episode, but Andy finds that out, and that was a powerful scene. Chris Evans' acting was great, but J.K. Simmons is, to me, he's always a standout. But Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons, when they're together, that is a really good dynamic duo. I'd like to see them maybe in a Damien Chazelle movie together. That'd be awesome. So Andy finds that out, but then the whole family decides, you know what, we're going to go to Mexico. We're going to go do this. We're going to have some fun. Jacob meets a friend named Hope, and they end up going to a party later that night. Jacob leaves. He kind of gets in a fight with her. Then the next day, he gets questioned by the police. And we all thinking, I'm like, oh my God, did Jacob murder this girl? Did he really do this? Like, is he really not innocent? And then that's kind of what's going on. And then basically Andy gets drinking a lot to help cope with what his father told him. And Andy gets drunk one night, and he ends up telling Lori, and Lori starts losing it again. Starts like, oh my God, she's not innocent. Oh my God, I knew it. Basically, all of her doubts came forward again. And they thought Jacob did it. Long story short, Hope was found, and she was fine. It wasn't because of Jacob. And that's what another thing I felt was kind of rushed. I felt like that was kind of just tossing there, rushed a little bit. But basically, then they call it short, and then they go home, and Lori's just having these doubts. And then we find out why Andy's on trial. And Neil's interviewing him, basically trying to get his revenge, and it never really explained in the show why they hate each other, which I wish it did, and I wish we had 2 more episodes to kind of find that out. I guess I'll have to read the book to find out. But basically, Lori's living with this guilt, starts getting angry and mad, and she starts thinking Jacob did it. And they're driving one day, it's pouring rain, and they're driving really fast, and Lori's going, why don't you just tell me? Why don't you just tell me? Make me feel better. I'll love you no matter what. Jacob, did you kill Ben? She's asking him this, and he's crying, no, Mom, I didn't kill him. Slow down, you're driving so fast. Lori crashes her car into a brick wall going 90 miles per hour. And I literally had my hands on my head, jaw dropped. This is about the last 20 minutes, and I almost lost it. I was like, oh my goodness. So then we find out why Andy's getting interviewed, and he's not going on trial. It's to see if they should charge basically Lori with attempted murder, I'm guessing. Never really said it. but Andy never broke, and he defended his wife no matter what. I think because they were going under so much stress together, they both had the same thought. But Lori tried to kill Jacob and herself, and long story short, they lived. Jacob's in a coma, and Lori's all banged up in ICU, and Andy stuck to his guns, and they don't go to trial. And that's like he defended Lori forever. And I wish there was a couple more episodes. I kind of wish this episode ended with Lori crashing the car into a brick wall, and then like a little bit more happened. 2 more episodes, we kind of got more to dive in deep. Big problem I had here is the uncertainty of if Jacob did it or did he not do it. And that's what's kind of bothering me. It's kind of sitting with me wrong, leaving almost a little sour taste in my mouth, because I'm left to assume, and I'm assuming that he did it, because Pats didn't do it. Pats was murdered and said he did it, confessed. J.K. Simmons is real deal for that, for Andy, really looking out for his son, but I'm left to believe that Jacob did it, and I'm sad about it. I wish he gave us a definitive answer, like maybe Jacob woke up from the coma, and like maybe he said like I killed Ben, or I wish we got 2 more episodes. I wish we got more with these characters. I don't know how I feel about the ending. It's still kind of early yet, but I dig this show a lot. I thought the ending had lots of juicy things. I thought it ended fine. I wasn't the ending I wanted. I wanted a definitive answer like, hey Jacob, you did it, or you did not do it. We kind of got that in the beginning, but now with this, I have so many questions rambling in my head, and I guess that's a good show if it makes me think this much. It stuck the landing almost. It's like when a Olympic gal is doing those flips, and she lands, and then she takes a step. Almost lands perfectly, but takes a step. It's kind of what the show did. It almost landed perfectly and kind of like stumbled a little bit. I had a great time with it, though. I had so much fun talking about it each Saturday. Make sure to comment your guys' thoughts down below on Defending Jacob. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you're still watching. Defending Jacob is awesome. And I'm actually going on Certain Vids YouTube channel later this week. We'll be doing a full spoiler series discussion. Him, myself, and our good pal Chris from over on Film Stocks. If you guys are still watching, make sure to go to follow those guys. They're my good buds. And join us tomorrow on CV Live. Until then, do me a favor and go see a movie. I'll see you guys next time.